Warriors rise and fall every day. Most of us shall be forgotten, faded ink in the great scroll of history. But there are some who shall live forever. Glory to our protector, Gudmundr the Great, wielder of Odin's gift, sword and shield of legend, pride of the Vikings. Rejoice, my fallen brother. To Valhalla you go, and know that here, for all time, we shall praise the shield of Svengard.
Valhalla!
That's right.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome, Nolan. Welcome, everyone watching. We're here at the Year 8 Season 3 reveal, the Shield of Svengard. I am pumped. Nolan, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing because they let me hold an axe today, so that's
Just for
always
today.
great. Just for today. I'm not allowed any other time, but no, I'm doing great. Thank you very much. We've got so much fun stuff to look at today. A lot of fun stuff on this TU. Really excited to go over it all. But folks, you know out there that if there's one thing I care about, it's that you all get your Twitch drops. So before we do anything else, please make sure you link your UB Connect account to your Twitch account. That way, for every 30 minutes you're with us, you're going to get a scavenger crate. And we're going to pick out some lucky winners at the end of the show to win a grand prize of either 100k steel or the new hero skin. So there's that.
Super, super. I love your Twitch drop, Spiel.
Thank you.
It's awesome. I love it. We've got some awesome stuff to show today. You know, we've new season, the Shield of Svengard. We've got our new hero skin, who I'm sure you could probably guess who it is by now. New battle pass, legacy pass. We've got a new converted map, testing grounds, and we've got patch notes. It's going to be awesome. I'm super pumped.
Nice.
Yeah. Quick side note, I know in our roadmap we mentioned that we have a hero skin coming in TU2. We actually decided to push that hero skin to TU1, but not to worry, we'll still have another hero skin in TU2. So all good. Before we get into all the details of this season, we have a little esports update. We had the Pro-Ams wrap up this past weekend, so big shout out to everyone who participated. Shout out to Spaniard and Nutella who ran the whole thing. It was awesome. Big thanks, and thank you again to everyone who participated. It was really awesome. Super exciting.
Yeah.
That's not all. We also have phase 2 of the Friend or Foe circuit. Oh yeah, 2v2 signups are now open, so the link should be getting dropped in the chat now, or being pinned, so thank you to the CMs for that. Here.
Somewhere.
Let's go here. So yeah, signups are open, so find a buddy and participate in the coming tournaments, because the first qualifier is September 28th, and yeah, I'm pumped. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, let's get into it. So we're going to be getting into all the juicy stuff. But before we get into all of that, we've got an awesome new trailer coming. Let's do it. Take it away, Max.
Warriors rise and fall every day. Most of us shall be forgotten. But there are some who shall live forever. Glory to our protector, Gudmundr the Great, wielder of Odin's gift. Sword and shield of legend! Bride of the Vikings! Rejoice, my fallen brother. To Valhalla you go. And know that here, for all time, we shall praise the shield of Svendard.
Welcome back, Warriors. Welcome to the Shield of Svengard details segment. I am pumped. Thank you all for joining me. Welcome, Alex, Raf, Edgard. How are you all doing today?
Doing great, doing great. Can you call me Svedgard, please,
I
for the
can
rest
call
of
you
the show?
Svedgard.
All right,
I will.
awesome.
So officially, this is Svengard.
Change my name to that, yeah.
And I'm really happy. I mean, you two are lovely, but if Head is here, Zedgard, I mean, there is something big coming up, right?
It's coming.
And
Something's
did
coming.
you see for the first time we had a podium
Oh,
featured
yes,
in a
the-
trailer? This
Mhm.
was so good.
Loved it.
Almost
That was
great.
Loved it. All right, so before we get into all the details, let's take a look at the seasonal roadmap. So this season means we've got a new Battle Pass and Legacy Pass. Our seasonal event, A Song for Goodmunder with a free event pass. We've got our new hero skin, of course. We've got some hero fests for Valkyrie, Berserker, and Raider. Got a throwback event, Rebellion Rescue, our new converted map, and a testing grounds, which would be awesome. And in TU2, we have a seasonal event coming October 24th. Some heroes, a hero skin, a hero fest, November 14th, 21st, and 28th, and our throwback event, November 21st. So yeah, I'm super pumped, honestly. So Raf, do you want to get into it? What's been happening in Heathmore Tech? What's happening in Year 8, Season 3?
Well, so it's the third season of this year, focused on legendary weapons. We explore through these weapons how the weapons themselves will forge our heroes, how they forge the values of our factions. We started the year with a knight-centered season with the Sword of Ashfeld, and it was wielded by the Unsung Knight, so it was a very duty-focused season. Then we had a samurai season centered or revolving around the friendship between Oniwaka the Sohei and Master Katashi. And both of them have their friendship that is really around their prowess on the battlefield, their mastery of weapons, really samurai teams. And now we have, of course, this. Well, I guess you have guessed that it is a Viking-centered season, and it revolves around the really great warrior character that was there in our original campaign. He died in the original campaign. His name is Gudmundur, and this season is centered around his funeral. Now, our inspiration, as you know, we take some things from history and culture and then adapt it to For Honor. So our inspiration is coming from real Norse burial culture and how they would perceive the afterlife and all of that, and how it would change their own life. So they wanted to live heroic life, leave things behind so that they would be remembered and maybe chosen to go into Valhalla. And when, in the Norse culture, when a warrior would die, they would throw a big party, share food, share drinks, share stories so that they would remember this person. And they would have a funeral pyre, throw some offerings, food, weapons. They would try to break the weapons and send them to Valhalla with the warrior into the funeral pyre. And if the warrior was great enough, a king, let's say, he would even have a ship burial. So they would burn the ship and send it with him to Valhalla. So this is our inspiration. Now, in our narrative for this season, when Gudmundur died in our regional campaign, the Vikings got together. They had this burial custom of trying to break his weapons, but they could not manage to break the weapons. Probably the shield and the sword were not really unbreakable, but they tried. Maybe they were too strong, maybe they didn't try enough. Anyway, they didn't manage to break them. So from this event, they simply they got inspired into telling stories about how great warrior he is, about great his weapons were, and from these stories, sagas, Gudmundur the man became Gudmundur the Great, the shield of Svangard.
So it's really a celebration of Gudmundur. This is really what it is.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's always, Gudmundur the Great.
Gudmundur the Great,
He
yes.
becomes great, from good to great.
He sounds super cool. What can you tell us, I guess, the relation between the Gudmundur from the campaign versus Gudmundur the Great that we're seeing here?
So what you see with the skin, with the weapons, this is really the fabled version of the original character. So he has these weapons that have become unbreakable through the stories, through the sagas, through what they tell, so that he would be remembered through times. This is an exaggerated version, fabled once again. But let's talk a bit about the original lore. It's coming from the original campaign. If you haven't played the original campaign, please do. You really should. But if you haven't, well, some spoilers from 7 years ago are coming. So in the original campaign, Gudmundur appears in the last chapter of the night part of the campaign. In that campaign, you play as a war hero, and you attack a Viking fortress called Svangard. So this is why the shield of Svangard. In this fortress, the Vikings had massed all of their food for the winter to survive Valkenheim harsh winters. And you, as the warden, are going through the city, torching the food stores one after the other. And each step of the way, you have this tall, broad, thrice-braided beast of a man, this Gudmundur, who is opposing you. He's even calling upon wolves to try to defend his village, to try to defend the food stores, to save his people. And this is a pivotal moment in the campaign. This is certainly Gudmundur is one of my favorite characters. Because it is a moment that you have another point of view on the Vikings than the one that you've had until then. It was Apollyon's. She is, for good reasons, she's biased against the Vikings, and she had presented them to you, the player, as bloodthirsty, pillage-loving. And now you have a man who is fighting. Yes, he's a great warrior, but he's fighting to defend his people. He is a shield, the shield of Svangard. And so he is there to humanize the Vikings a bit. And we wanted to get this inspiration to try to deepen our knowledge of the Vikings and their culture with this season. So this is a part of the inspiration we got and a part of the narrative. If you want to have some more details, you can get it from read. If you go to read what will appear, be launched in 2 days on September the 12th. So there will be a short story centered around Gudmundur and how Gudmundur Man becomes Gudmundur the Great.
Mhm.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for breaking all that down. It sounds super awesome.
Happy to be with you.
This is so much. This is great, honestly. I'm glad to be here with all of you. This is awesome. But folks, Gudmundur the Great will be available for purchase for $11.99 or 25K steel in just 2 days. So be on the lookout for that. He's looking so awesome, basking in his glory. He looks amazing. But moving on, just let's take a little look at the mood board for this season. You could see what the art team cooked up. It's what they used to. Yeah. Let's take a look at the in-game realization as well. We've got a landing page, of course, with Gudmundur looking awesome. Face-off. Oh yeah, little tease in the background. Ooh.
Yeah, this is unfamiliar.
Got our new minions with the wolf helmets, and of course our world map, wolf map. I want to jump over to you, Ed. We've got some map realization coming. Would
Yes,
you care
yes, we
to
do.
expand on this?
Absolutely. So again, as Raf has so eloquently put, we're celebrating Gudmundur in this Viking theme. So of course we have map realization that was done in a Viking map. And I would like to take this opportunity to officially announce that Viking Village is the converted map of this season. So there you have it. This map was a very good choice for us. The way the map flows, it has 3 lanes embedded into it. So from there, we were able to, really easily convert this map to Dominion with lots of changes that we added to it. And of course, as the ship funeral of Gudmundur is the showcase here. So in the vista of the map, you'll be able to see his send-off on that Viking funeral that the Vikings do.
Yeah.
Flowing to
Oh.
Valhalla.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, I'll be talking much more about the map later on, but here's a little tease for you guys.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, thank you for the tease, and
Yeah.
stick around. I'm sure you'll do the full breakdown.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Alex, I want to jump over to you. I know we have a battle pass releasing in just a couple days. What can you tell us about this season's pass?
Well, you'll be surprised to know that it's Viking themed.
This is why you told me to wear this. I understand now.
Yes. So yeah, we have a very strong Viking theme throughout the battle pass. So in the mood effects, you can see these helmets that are inspired by Odin, inspired by the Valkyrie, with backgrounds there of the Bifrost and Northern Lights. Really bring home the Viking myth.
Awesome.
The weapons also are inspired by different animals or mythological creatures from each faction. So it relates to what each faction would find significant.
Very good. Looks incredible.
First.
Super nice. Just another look at the weapons. Super detailed. Look amazing. And here's some of the other items you can unlock in the Battle Pass. You've got a pair of battle outfits, Invincible Protector, and Invincible Jarl. Looking awesome. So nice. We got an execution, of course. No enemies. That doesn't feel good. Neither does that.
No.
Got an ornament, Invincible Greatness, which just looks so nice.
You see little bits of that Valkyrie helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last but not least, my favorite dance party with your favorite drinking partners.
Yeah, really funeral themed.
That's it. Too much mead. Looking awesome. We also
Wonderful.
have a Legacy Pass releasing at the same time. So this is for Year 4 Season 3. This will have a bunch of retrofitted content. I have a pair of battle outfits here, and you'll notice actually that a lot of these items have a nature theme. This is because it was supposed to contrast with the previous season in Year 4, which is when we introduced the Warmonger and the concept of tyranny. So in Year 4 Season 3, which is what you're seeing here, titled Resistance, these items were supposed to represent people trying to find solutions to the tyranny that the Warmongers brought. So they looked outside of their culture, entered towards nature, shamanism, and also got help from the Druids, which is where you see those mood effects. So that's kind of like a bit of the background, I guess, from this season. Looking awesome. Got silver bonsai signature. Oh yeah.
And of course, all of this is retrofitted. Some of
Yes.
it was not available before, and now it is.
Exactly. You can see the Varangian here. Oh yeah. These are awesome. Sylvan Rose signature. So nice. Little sneak peek of the weapons as well. Again, very nature themed. A lot of greens.
Love the weapons.
Yeah. Again, they were really looking for solutions to the tyranny, so they turned towards the nature
Yes.
Yeah.
outside of their culture. But that's not all. We've also got some armor variations coming this season.
We do. This time it's for the Knights and the Vikings. So the emphasis for these ones is on fine craftsmanship, being very ornate, very detailed, and generally just feeling like you've got a lot of rich materials and decorative elements.
Oh.
So nice. And we'll take a look at the Varangian.
Yeah, Viking customization.
Really nice.
Yeah.
The purple? Oh yeah. Looks just beautiful. So nice. The different color palettes here. Get your fashion on.
Looking like wealthy warriors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how they all looked.
You have to say Max. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Sure.
could be a Varangian yourself.
You seem confident with
Maybe.
it.
Yeah, I am.
Bit dangerous, I would say.
Let's
Very
wrap
much
up.
also.
I want to thank you all for coming on the Den and breaking down everything coming this season. But stick around; we've got a segment just for Viking Village that will be with Zvedgard over here. But before that, we're going to be showcasing the entire Battle Pass weapons gallery. Did you want to say something about the music?
Yes. Well, maybe you've been here before the show, but in any case, while you will be looking at the Battle Pass weapons, you can listen to the music, and if you listen carefully, well, it's pretty much in the foreground, but you'll hear some lyrics. We don't always add lyrics over our seasonal soundtrack, but this time we did it, and the lyrics have a special meaning. So try to translate it. If you know Icelandic really, really well, you should be able to find something there. And maybe it is Viking themed. I mean, yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
Just
So
throwing it
big,
out
big
there.
shout out.
Potential.
You'll let us know.
Maybe.
Yeah, really great job from the narrative team who wrote the text, from localization who helped us to translate it, and to audio team too. We know you love the music for each season, and well, we love our colleagues from audio too, and we love their work. So this is our love for them.
Awesome. Big shout out to the audio team. So enjoy, everyone. Take it away, Max.
Svedgard! Yes. Svedgard. I gotta say, I'm a little jealous that you get a cool Viking name. You know,
Well, it'd be the first time in my life.
that's the first time you've had a cool Viking name.
Well, cool name.
Well, you wear it so well. I think that's.
Thank you,
awesome.
thank you. I
All
appreciate
right.
it. I can't.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Gotta feel good about that. Do you want to hold the
right.
axe?
Yes.
Hold the axe.
Hold
It's
it.
a great axe. Look at the
Alright.
axe. It's amazing. Welcome back, everybody. Hello. We are here to continue our conversation. Ed, you teased the new map in the last segment, so now we're going to do a deeper dive on this. So, are you excited? Are you pumped?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we only got the one out of the way. Now we get the second one.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Okay. So let's jump right into it.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the map overview here. This is if you're coming from the attacker's side. You got your main lane down the middle and both capture points on the sides there. As I said, the map translated itself very well since you got the 3 lanes there from the beginning. So yeah, let's take a look more in detail on the main lane. So here is what the map normally looks like. You have these houses on the sides, a little, closing in on you. So we opened that up quite a bit there,
Nice.
so that you have a lot more breathing room, fighting room in the main lane. And you see there were some stairs in the back. Now we made that more into a gradual slope.
Oh, nice.
So it's a lot more comfortable to fight on.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you. Cause
well,
you fight on the slope a lot.
You
so
don't want to slip on a staircase while you're fighting.
Definitely not. No, absolutely not.
So let's take a look from the other side, from the defenders. We had this beautiful, beautiful giant tree.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
That was right there. So they just, chopped it down
Oh, no.
completely. Yeah. They needed some, firewood for good Munders.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
So again, this creates a better fighting space for the minions, for the players. So yeah, it's a lot more comfortable for sure.
Nice.
The map itself is a little claustrophobic, so we have to open it up.
Sure.
Here, where capture point A is, there was some empty space that wasn't being used, so it was kind of like an empty canvas for us to work on, and we placed capture point A right there. Yeah. So again, this is really cool. This is kind of like a little storage space for the Vikings, where they haul their loot when they go on raids and stuff like that. So again, it was great to kind of just make something from scratch there because, as I said, it was kind of like an empty canvas area for us to work on.
Very cool.
Yep.
Very cool. Nice.
Let's take over at capture point C. This was a rampart area with this little hut thingy in there, which is way too small. So we definitely opened that up and we created a whole capture zone area there. It's kind of like this fishing hut.
Nice.
Again, some of you who know our maps are familiar with them. You'll see the inspirations here that came from another map. This fit perfectly with the theme of the map. It's a Viking village, as the name implies. So a fishing hut where they provide food for themselves, go out fishing, and even scouting, stuff like that. So this is a beautiful capture zone area and very comfortable to fight in.
And I even made sure to confirm with Raph beforehand that the Vikings were indeed fishermen.
Yes,
And
of
when
course.
out there, they would fish and they would trade and they would do that. So it's
They
super
probably
lore
just
accurate.
threw axes.
Just
at
threw
first.
axes in the water. Yeah.
Hoped for the best.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm okay
yeah.
with that.
So yeah, also throughout the map, as I said, it's a bit of a claustrophobic map. So there were some tight areas in there. So our goal was to open up these areas. And as you can see here, after the changes, we have a line of sight on capture zone A as you're coming towards it from the defender spawn. And you can see quite the difference where you have better lines of sight on the map itself.
Awesome.
Also, if you're near the main lane and going towards A, the beautiful tree that was there and the houses. Again, our goal was to open this up completely. Just you get a better sense of your surroundings and where players are coming from. You even see a lighthouse in the background on the right side. So we added some landmarks for, when the first few times you play the map, you want to situate yourself in it. So we added a few, custom improvements for Dominion.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, looks incredible too. Yeah. So really good, much more open space. Really, really excellent use of that. So a ton of fun.
It was a fun map to work on for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
and we got a little something else too that you added.
I believe, yeah, we're going to take a look at the vistas here in the
Oh, amazing.
background. And of course, we have the whales that are splashing about in Valkenheim and Ashfeld locations. And for the Meyer location, as previously mentioned, we have Gudmundur sailing off towards Valhalla. And for those,
Gudmundur.
yeah. And for those of you fighting at Capture Point C, if you get dropped into the water, you can hear a little whisper of Gudmundur saying, "Get good." Yeah.
Says get
Come
good,
on, man.
man. It's good.
Come on.
I like it.
Again, super fun map to work on.
Nice.
Though some of you might notice that we omitted talking about something on this map that's unique to this map.
Okay.
And in other game modes, you'll probably know that there's this trap that
Yes.
one of the teams can launch,
Mhm.
and it sends a spike barrel rolling down. Day one.
I still have nightmares about this trap. It's terrifying. Yeah.
Day one, I put myself on the map. I put the whole main lane, and I yanked that trap, and just every single minion got obliterated. Of course, we could not keep that. The minion,
fair enough.
as much as I would have loved to see it. We couldn't keep it in there. But
The defenders might have had a bit of an advantage.
of course,
They
yeah,
had the
because they're
switch.
spawning right underneath where the
Yeah.
trap would have been. So yes, it would have been a bit one-sided there.
Yeah.
But we did keep its spirit alive.
Awesome.
Yes. So let's take a look. Here's the cinematic intro to the minion. And as you'll probably notice, the cinematic intro itself has been upgraded. And and there you have it. The spike barrel trap has been launched
Oh man.
onto them.
It's so painful looking.
The defenders are quite well prepared for the attacking armies here. So there's from the defending side, and they launch that barrel right in their face, and then you start the match. So again, a huge shout out to Amélie, who did a tremendous job on
Yes.
this one.
Great job.
As I mentioned before, Cathedral was our first launch at doing intro cinematics, and here we upped it up, and I'm very happy with the results. And a huge shout out to the whole team, honestly. On the art side, Jordan was helping us on this map. He did a lot of work on the capture zones as well. Audio team, VFX team, I think everyone had a blast working on this one.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, and honestly, thank you, Ed, too, for working on these new maps, these new converted maps for us. It's so great to see them enter the rotation. It's so much fun to have that in the game.
So that's two now.
That is
guys got
two. There you
two
go.
converted maps added to the rotation, and I hope you guys enjoy it quite a bit.
Well, I enjoy it, so thank you for that. Well, very cool. Thank you so much, Ed. Also, we wanted to mention, too, just in honor of the map and the new skin, too, we have a free event pass releasing at the same time. It's called A Song for Gudmundur, and we've got some rewards that we wanted to show off here. The first is a battle outfit, Viking Strength, that you can get, which is looking pretty slick, if you ask me. I love the Viking motif there. We also have a new mood effect for Valkenheim, the effect there, which is great. I love the ravens and just the Viking hammer there. It's great. A new ornament, the Viking Glory, which also is looking incredible. Just the red and the golds there. So good. So we got a lot of that fun stuff. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be live for the first couple weeks of the season. So you can go and progress the event pass and earn all those rewards yourself. So very cool. So Ed, thank you again.
Thank you,
folks.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely, yes. Out there, folks, listen, 2 days, you get to play the Viking Village. It'll be live in 2 days on September 12th. So we're so excited to get out there and just see the new chaos and the carnage that will rain down on this new map. So look out for that. So coming up next, we have our testing ground segment, and you don't want to miss that because we've got some really cool stuff on the horizon for there. So Ed, thank you again very much.
Thank you.
And folks, don't go anywhere. You got to throw the axe now at the. No. Valkenheim! Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Valkenheim,
we did it.
yes.
All right,
did
I
it.
love it.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Warriors. We are so excited to be here today to talk about testing grounds. And joining us on the couch, you know him, you love him, our Lord and Savior, JC is back. Woo!
I'm here. I've been looking at chat again. I have people calling for me.
I know.
But they did the chant, the little dance, and then it just magically appeared.
It's true. Like,
That's how it works.
yeah, I'm honestly afraid because, like, Chad, if you don't do that every time, I don't know. Like,
I don't
you
know what's
if
gonna
he's-
happen.
Like one day, like
I get
so
summoned from the depths of the sea or something. I don't know. So it's kind of great.
we pull you away from your PC.
Yeah.
Just like, no, it must balance.
Yeah.
So that's great. Well, JC, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the
to
couch.
be here.
And also, we're joined, first time, long time. This is Costa Zimiklis, or
Yeah.
Costa T, as we know and love him here. So, Costa, welcome to the den.
Thanks. Good to be here. First time caller, long time listener.
Yes.
And I'm excited to be here to go over the testing grounds with you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're very happy to have you here again. Folks out there, Costa is one of our expert game designers on the project here, and he worked on this new testing ground. So, but what can we say about this? What's the deal?
So as you'll see in a few seconds, I guess, we're doing something a little bit different for this testing ground. It's focused on feats.
Nice.
So I'm sure chat is going wild right now, so it's great. But essentially, our goal for this one and for the near future, at the very least, right? We wanna have a look at feats specifically for the default feats for like a lot of year one heroes, right? Most of the time, these are the feats that have been reused quite a bit. That might not be super powerful. That might not have the synergy that we've been starting to put in. Really, since Marching Fire,
Right.
some of the heroes, like especially the DLC or like the first year heroes that we put like in the first couple seasons, these sometimes have unique feats or feats that are very, very rarely reused, and they kind of work synergistically with the heroes a little bit more. But we're trying to really flesh that out as much as possible.
Gotcha.
So as you'll see now, we have stuff for Warden, right? Specifically for Warden, and as we go further along this year, a little bit more in the future, we're gonna keep doing this and trying to really readjust these feats as we go along to make sure that it fits the heroes better, that they're better fitted to their kit, that they're more synergistic. I know the one that the next testing ground is also super interesting for other heroes. So I'm super hyped about this. This is not a one-time thing.
Nice.
We're gonna keep doing this on testing grounds for the near future at least, but it's gonna be really great. I'm super psyched. And I can wait for Costa to tell us about what we're doing with Warden.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like JC said, we're starting off with Warden, and we want feats to be more, representative of the hero and their kit and everything. Tell a story about the hero. So let's just get into it.
Right.
So the first feat, it's called Death Toll. Basically, visually, it's exactly like body count, except stronger. So it's a passive feat. Killing soldiers grants you 3 HP and 3 stamina per soldier killed. And so basically, it's replacing body count for Warden, but body count is still around for the other heroes who had body count.
Yeah, so that's one of the things, one of the philosophies we're trying to do with these feat reworks and changes here is sometimes you'll see something like Death Toll, which is we're taking an existing feat, body count, that would be problematic at those values on other heroes, but would not be on Warden, for example, right? And because we want to give Warden that identity of being really good in the lane, as a Vanguard is our like basic poster boy, basically, the idea here is, well, we want him to be successful in the lane, be able to go kill minions. Body count at +1 HP, +1 stamina is a bit, like, it's not super strong on Warden. It's like, if you have a lot of infinite chains, it's really, really good, because you can clear out the lane really quickly and a lot more effectively. Warden has to throw like multiple heavies and multiple lights to get enough minion kills. So at these values, it's a lot more comfortable. We're able to do this for Warden. And so this is great, right? So it's a unique feat for Warden. Like Costa said, this does not affect body count on other heroes. This is specifically Warden's body count, right? Which is kind of like part of some of the philosophy we're doing here. So we can go to the next one.
Yep,
Costa, and we'll
sure.
see like something a little bit different there as well.
Yeah, for sure. The next one is Enfeeble. So, like, Warden's going to give you the cold shoulder. It's a passive feat. Basically, every time you shoulder bash an opponent, it temporarily lowers their attack damage. Their attack damage goes down by 20% for 10 seconds. This doesn't have a cooldown either, so players can switch targets, apply the debuff on different targets, and just be an overall presence in team fights.
Yeah.
We tried to help him in his team fight presence.
Yeah.
This feat will replace Fiat Lux, so that one won't be available in Warden's kit anymore for feats, but his other feats will still be available.
Still there.
Yeah.
And so this is another example of we're making an entirely new feat, right?
Yeah.
Like Warden does not have this. Nobody has this. So again, we're able to take feats that exist and modify them just for this hero. We want to give them a unique identity still. But then for this, it's a completely new feat. It still replaces a feat that is not super used on Warden. Like Fiat Lux is not extremely used on Warden.
Exactly, yeah.
It's good for this. It's like a really, really effective feat. There's no cooldown, there's no nothing, so you can really keep somebody locked down. And it fits again also with, we want to give Warden a bit more utility in group fights. Make sure that the hero is able to perform in those situations and have something that's kind of cool there. That's super
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly. Next, we have Total Recovery, another passive feat. This one, basically, when you revive an ally, they return back to full health.
Nice.
There's no need to the ally to go back to a Dominion spot and heal themselves. Instead, they can just join the fight. You could imagine how powerful that would be if your team is breaking or if the enemy's team is breaking. So that's why it's the third feat. It replaces Takedown. Again, another passive feat. Just something you don't have to think about activating, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool there, right? Because again, it's something super new. It's really different. We've never really done like a feat that does this specifically. Again, it's very strong, right? Like when we were testing it, we were like not super sure at first, and like, yeah, this is actually really good in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
Like removing the need to rotate back to heal is really, really big. So like rezzing people, like really like reviving them in the middle of somewhere that's not a CP is very, very useful with Warden. So I'm super excited about this feat. It's really different. And then Takedown, nobody really took Takedown anyway.
No.
It's not that great of a feat. So I think Warden doesn't really lose anything. Still has
Second win.
second win.
Still
right?
has second win.
Well, that's the thing, is that you have a choice now, right?
Yeah.
You have at least two feats there that should be really viable. You want to take the selfish one that cleanses and heals you, but it's okay. It's okay to have selfish feats sometimes.
Sometimes.
It's okay to have like more group-oriented feats. This is much more group-oriented. It's much more a support feat, but it's super interesting. It brings something fresh and new to the table. So again, it's really, really cool. I'm really excited about that one again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I remember during play sessions we were playing and we'd be fighting during breaking. You'd see a Warden healing a teammate. You're like, no, I can't let him
Yeah,
heal. It's
yeah.
gonna change the whole game. So it's
Yeah,
I'm
because you
interested
already have to
see this
interrupt
one.
revives, but this is like you have to really focus on a ward.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't revive at all.
Exactly.
Nice.
So the last one, it's called Trebuchet. That's because trebuchets are superior to catapults.
In every single way.
That-
Yep, in every single way.
Is that historically accurate? Do we run that by Raph too?
We could ask Raph.
Good ask. I just
I
go with
looked it
We'll
up.
go with
They throw more weight than,
There you go.
than regular catapults.
There you go. All right.
But yeah, basically it's the same situation as body count. Visually, it doesn't change too much, the trebuchet from catapult, but the effects are a little different. So it calls a quick strike to deal massive damage over an area. Basically, it does 70 damage throughout the area. Previous catapult used to do damage depending on where in the AoE you got hit. I think it was like the highest damage was like 200 and the lowest was 25.
Yeah, and
which
you barely never get hit for 200.
exactly.
Basically, the way it works, that there's a little center, right, where you take max damage, and the further you fall, you get away from the middle, the more the damage falls off. So like there was a big delta there of super high damage, super low damage. So that was not super effective. But you also did another change there, right?
I did, yes. In addition to the 70 damage, now it has a 1 second activation time instead of a 2 second activation time. This is going to be a lot harder to dodge, but it is still dodgeable. You could roll out of it for sure.
You have to be just a lot more aware. Right?
Yeah.
You have to look at Warden, be a lot more aware of what's going on. At a second, yeah, like you said, it's still dodgeable. You can still get out of it, but you have to know a lot more. So it's great because it has like a lower full potential damage, but the odds of it landing are way higher. Doesn't matter where you're at in the big circle and the big AoE. Like, it's all good. So that's great. Cooldown has also been increased a little
Yeah,
bit.
cooldown's been increased. It's now 180 seconds, and yeah, I shouldn't have said it's now 180 seconds because it's a new feat.
It's-
But yeah,
As of right now.
Oh, that's
yeah,
great, right?
that's a
So
new feature.
again, like that's another example of we took Catapult
Mhm.
that Warden had,
Mhm.
right? That a lot of knights have. It's a super iconic feat
Mhm.
for knights. Pretty much every single knight has it. But generally, it's not the best feat that you can have. It's useful in some situations, but generally, like you'd rather have something different. With this one, it's a lot stronger than a regular catapult. The odds of landing it are way higher.
Mhm.
You have more, but like the potential damage is lower, but it's gonna be a lot more consistent. So overall, it's great. But again, this is only on Warden.
Yeah.
Right. So that's great. And another thing that's interesting here is that you see that like we have 3 passives and 1 active. This is also part of an effort to streamline a little bit Warden and give players like a bit more choice. But also, if you're a new player, you're coming in, and you have to learn like you gotta start playing the game, right? You have to learn Dominion.
Mhm.
You have to learn how to parry. You have to learn how to block. You have to learn how to attack. You have to learn how to dodge. All these things. You have to learn revenge. You have to learn capture points. All these things.
Yeah.
Then you have to learn feats. Which one is active? What do I do when do I do it? So with these, at least, like we want to lower a little bit the mental load of a new player specifically. If you want to use them, you can still use them, and they should still be very very strong. But at the end of the day, like a lot of this is also so that we want to help newer players come in and not feel overwhelmed by the amount of things that they have to learn all at once.
Yeah.
So this is great. It also like is just a straight up buff to Warden for all of it. It's
pretty
Right.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
it's really interesting. I'm excited. I want to give
too.
like a huge shout out to the design team because you guys
Yeah.
worked super hard on this. Like you were leading the charge, but it's always a group effort, right?
Yeah. A lot of
Also, like
feedback
a
from them.
huge shout out to our gameplay programming team,
For
like,
sure.
led with Pascal and a bunch of people on there.
yes.
And I'm not gonna name everybody because there's too many. But
There's a lot of people. Yeah.
But like, really, thank you. You guys worked so hard, guys and gals worked so hard to get this tech available to us. Like the
Right.
reason why we couldn't really do feats in testing grounds before is because the way the tech kind of worked, we were able like it's not so bad to like do characters and to like stuff for heroes specifically, but for feats it's a lot more complicated. The technology is a bit more complex. And so to be able to have feats in testing grounds took a lot of extra effort on their part. It's great. Their tech allows us to do a lot of things. We can move feats around. We can do a lot of different things that we couldn't do before. So really massive thank you to that team because they're invaluable and it's amazing for us to be able to have that tech. So
Yep.
super awesome.
For sure.
And again, like usual, right? You want to give us feedback. You love it.
Yep.
You hate it. We're gonna be looking at Reddit. I'm gonna be looking at Reddit, even though I need to get
Because we can't stop him from looking
can't
at
stop,
it.
right?
So, yeah.
But it's great. Like, so give us your feedback. Try
Yeah.
it out. Take your time. Really like mess with them as much as you can. Try to figure it out. See what you like, what you don't like. Maybe the numbers aren't right. Then you wanna suggest different numbers. That's great. Do suggestions. The more we have information, the more we have input from players, and we'll see through the patch notes. I'll reiterate that again. But the more information we have, the better it is for us to make better decisions.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you go, I hate Death Toll, like, okay, you hate Death Toll. Sure. If you tell me I really don't like Death Toll because I think it should give 5 HP but 1 stamina, that's even better.
Yeah.
Right? Because then we can go, okay, so like there's players that feel that tend to go a certain way, others tend to go a different way, and we try to take everybody's everybody's opinion to consideration, what we believe as well as a group, what we want to do, and we try to make like informed decisions from the feedback that we get. But if the only feedback that we get is I love it or I hate it, and there's no extra little like a little bit more information, because that extra juice that we get is amazing because
Yeah.
it really lets us make better iterations and better choices for everybody. We're making this game for you, for the players. We love everybody that plays the game, right? And we're doing this for us, but we're also doing this for you, only.
Yeah.
And we want to have
definitely.
players have fun playing it,
Mm.
and that's the most important part. And so
Yeah.
we're doing all these changes to make the game better for everyone.
Yeah, and I'll be looking out for feedback on Reddit. I think we give a survey
Yep.
at the end of the testing round as well, so
there's
fill
our
that
official
out.
forums. There's a bunch of different places to get feedback from.
Yeah.
That's great. We always get results from this. We have like amazing community managers.
Mhm.
They're like pouring through everything, give us like big results, big feedback. So that's great. But we also kind of look at it personally. At least
For
I
sure.
do because I'm kind of nuts. That's kind of how it works.
Look-
So that's
look.
fine.
Amazing. Well, super cool. Well, thank you, JC, for helping explain this. Costa, thank you again for all your hard work on that and
No
for
problem.
being on the show for your first time.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, again, folks, the Testing Grounds is launching next Thursday
Yes.
on the
19.
September 19th. I think there might be a small typo there, but
there
is. Yeah.
next Thursday on September 19th. So, it'll be up for a week. So, keep an eye out for that. Check it out. Play Warden. Give us your feedback. We're looking forward to it. So thank you all very much. But stick around because coming up next we have patch notes. So we're gonna talk. Oh, more
Whoa,
patch
I'm
notes.
gonna hold my hand over the fire to see like if
No, Jason.
it's
No,
gonna reveal something to me about patch notes. See what's
Dangerous.
gonna happen there?
But stick around too because during the transition we're gonna show off the Legacy Pass too for the next segment. So we hope you enjoy that. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Go. Fenrir. Yeah. I think I think of new like Viking words to shout between
Every
segments
time,
here.
yeah.
Every time. I
That's how
got
it
be
works.
something new every time.
I speak Viking very fluently.
Do you?
It's an actual language, Viking.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Can you say tell us something?
Not
Viking?
really, because then it just kind of ruins it for everyone.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't want to boast too much, you know.
that's very fair. You're very humble. I appreciate that. So.
I am.
Awesome stuff. All right. Well, JC, thank you for sticking around. Folks, we are here to talk about the patch notes segment.
Yes.
So we just got out of that, the awesome kind of like future, some testing grounds there. So that's really cool. But we have more because in 2 days we also have some balance changes
Yeah.
coming up. So,
Full of balance changes.
yeah. So JC, what do you got for us?
Yeah. So first up, I want to make sure that people know
Yeah.
that I was reading chat earlier,
Oh, okay.
and people were saying that we should nerf Lawbringer.
Right.
So we buffed him again.
Oh, take,
so
that, take that, Chef.
so basically, there's a couple of things, right? And I was talking about it in the previous segment as well, when I was talking about testing grounds and feedback.
Yeah.
And so there's two main changes for Lawbringer in this patch. Yes, I know you wanted to have a roll catcher.
Yes.
We're still working on it. It is still coming. I
Mhm.
can guarantee you it's coming.
And I know.
Guarantee you and
Now
you
it's
and
a
you
guarantee.
and
yeah,
all the
now it's a
Lawbringer means that it's
guarantee.
coming.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. I don't have the exact ETA. We still have a bit of work to do on it to make sure it looks right and everything's okay. But we're gonna have one, no problem. But in the meantime, I wanted to, reach all the Lawbringer mains and shake their hands and thank them for being so passionate
Oh,
and buff their main a little bit.
there you go.
Right. So there's two things here. First, this new combo route, which is light, heavy.
Mhm.
So you couldn't really do that before. If you threw a light, you had to go to heavy afterwards. So that's one of the changes I'll be discussing in a little bit. And then, but we also added the ability to shove after any single light attack. That means if you do opener light into shove, you can do light into shove again if you want.
Mhm.
You can do shove after like one of those confirmed lights that you have after like your heavy openers, your top
Yeah.
heavy finisher. After any time you can press light, you can always go into a shove afterwards.
Nice.
So these two changes are really aimed at improving Lawbringer's chain flow.
Mhm.
A lot of players have been commenting that like it kind of feels a bit difficult to play Lawbringer because you get into chains and your offense is very, very predictable. You throw a light, you have to absolutely throw a heavy afterwards. You do shove into light, you have to throw a heavy. And so while those heavies often feel really good and they're good attacks, that predictability that you have feels bad. So
Right.
we've done these changes. And I want to specifically talk about light, light, heavy, right? So you might remember in some previous testing grounds, we had fully unlocked Lawbringer's chain flow.
Yeah.
So you can do light, light, light. You can do heavy, 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 as you can kind of do.
Right.
You could always kind of mix and match all these things in there. And so when we got the feedback from the testing grounds, a lot of what we got was light, light, light felt super spammy.
Yeah.
And that was something that we got a lot of. People didn't want to have Lawbringer to like just throw lights all the time. He's a big, super tanky dude. I get it. It's great. So we went, okay, you know what? This is the feedback that we got. We're not gonna put it in, right? But the information that we were missing and that we ended up collecting over time with me looking at Reddit too much and talking with people and stuff was that players didn't necessarily like light, 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 but they actually wanted light, light.
Yeah.
Just not have the third one, right? So it's understandable. It does feel a bit weird, but I don't recall, at least myself, again, like, you know, I try not to be on Reddit too much, but I don't really remember people saying light, light was okay, but not light, light, light. So
Right.
that's what I meant before also when I said that, like, the more precise your feedback is, the better we can act on it.
Nice.
If we had gotten that feedback a lot earlier, probably this would have been in earlier. It always takes time from when we actually see sort of feedback and when we can start to act on it. It always takes a bit of time. It's normal. But if we had had that feedback before from the testing grounds, that probably would have been in earlier. So it's one of those things that when we get feedback from testing grounds, the more precise it is, and the more I don't like this, but I would like this part, or I like this part and not necessarily the end, would have helped us to get into this a little bit faster.
Gotcha.
Right now, it doesn't matter. It's in. I'm sure Lawbringer mains are happy. Not 100% because they don't have their roll catcher, but at least this should really, really help your flow coming, and should really, really help like how to play Lawbringer. Gives them a lot more freedom in chains, a lot more ability to pressure opponents. People like that Lawbringer is a bully, right? You get to shove a lot more.
Yeah.
That should be good. It's great. Just you still can't chain after a shove on miss. So you can't don't just go light shove, light shove, light shove, because then you're gonna get countered.
Yeah.
You're gonna dodge that shove all the time. You're gonna be okay, right? So that's it for Lawbringer. Now another thing that I've read also in chat was we're also going to nerf Peacekeeper.
Oh man.
Because, you know, clearly we have to nerf Peacekeeper.
Clearly.
So,
Clearly.
oh, we're buffing Peacekeeper.
Oh, I'll take that.
I went back to my desk and I made sure to tell the entire team we have to buff Peacekeeper now.
Right.
So one of the things, like,
this is how game design works.
right, this is
folks.
how game
Yeah,
design
this
works.
is how it
right?
works.
Just
yeah.
go and I say, but now this is great, right? So Peacekeeper can now chain to heavy finisher to heavy finishers after any dodge attack.
Nice.
So previously, Peacekeeper was kind of felt a bit stuck, a bit stranded when you did dodge attacks.
Yeah.
You did like front dodge heavy or side dodge heavies. If you were blocked or if you missed, you were stuck. You couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
If you landed a hit, you could deep gouge, which is great, but it's the only thing you could do, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, you get frame advantage afterwards. You get like, you know, it's still good, but it doesn't feel as good because your flow kind of ends there.
Right.
And we like Peacekeeper to be very much like a 1-2 character, right? You have like a 2-hit combo, you go 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 constantly. But without having access to those heavy finishers, her flow felt like it was lacking a little
Yeah.
bit there. So we added the ability to do this. Now, we know and we're aware that one of Peacekeeper's main issues outside of this is her ability to contribute damage in ganks because some of her damage is too low. We've done some experiments like that. People have suggested, like, you know, maybe the top heavy doesn't soft feint, it doesn't go to deep gouge. All these things, whenever we've tried them, they just don't feel really good because it feels like very, very situational and just like exceptions to every kind of rules, and it just kind of doesn't really make a lot of sense. So we're looking to see like what we can do, but this is part of this because if your opponent is bleeding from, say, a shaman, even from yourself or you know, from whatever, then you do have a lot more pressure, but an unblockable that comes afterwards that is super, super strong. You can soften the guard break, soften the dodge. You can do like a lot of different things. You get a deep gouge guarantee if it lands. They're very, very good attacks. So with this flow, with that sort of stuff, at least we should be getting into a much better position with Peacekeeper and be able to play and have a lot better flow with her. I remember like we've been playing with her and with some of the other changes that are coming in the near future, and she does feel much, much, much better.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
keep your eyes peeled for the future. But at least with this is actually a really big improvement. For
Yeah, it feels good. Feels like it should be there.
yeah. Because you don't like right now if you're and you side dodge and you miss, it just feels so bad. At least with this, you do get a heavy afterwards. So it's super awesome. It feels really
Yeah.
And then last but not least, in terms of heroes, we have Centurion. So I'm gonna read this to you, right?
Yeah.
Fully charged punch, charge time is now 900 ms, down from 1,000. What does this mean?
What does this mean?
You
Yes.
charge for 100 ms less,
Mhm.
right? So let me put you a little bit of hypothetical situation here. Not so hypothetical because it happens in game all the time.
Fair enough. Yeah.
If Centurion does any sort of light attack and then fully charges punch afterwards,
Mhm.
your opponent can mash dodge, basically like buffer a dodge
Mhm.
to dodge the uncharged timing.
Mhm.
And then if the attack is fully charged, the recovering timing can dodge again to dodge the fully charged punch.
Hmm.
Because of the way things are kind of set up with Centurion, the time for charging, the time for the punch itself, we've been trying in the past to kind of like change that a little bit and fix it up. But we doing just like the what we have for Hitokiri timings and for Warden timings cannot work due to animation issues, right? The punch is a little bit longer. So we've been really looking at how can we fix this, because we know it's a problem and it hinders Centurion's offense, especially because the main way to open up people with Centurion is a Legion kick into
Right.
a light, and then I can't do anything, right?
Yeah.
So with this change, it should always work after a light. So if I light you and I throw a fully charged punch, if you dodge, you cannot like do a second dodge to dodge the fully charged punch, which should really greatly enhance Centurion's offense. It's a massive buff, even though it's a small change. It's a big change for the hero as a whole. Hopefully, this will help Centurion like perform way better in 1v1 situations. You might have to change up a little bit your timings for ganks or whatever to make sure you get that fully charged punch going. But it's a big change for Centurion that really helps the hero in those situations.
I like that you're doing like way 4D chess on this one. You're like, it's just 100 milliseconds, but here to here to here.
But that's a good example, right? Of sometimes like it sounds super simple, but we have to investigate like because there's so many variables that we can tweak.
Right.
To go like, what's the minimum charge? What's the maximum charge? What's the length of the punch? What's the length of this, length of that? So there's like a lot of little variables, and we have to tweak and like really refine that quite a bit to figure out like exactly what we can do to fix it. I'm happy it's fixed now. So that's great.
Yes.
But it's super good, right? I think like Centurion players are going to be super happy. It's a big change.
Nice.
And then we have a couple of other changes to feats, right? So we're going to buff some feats. And so let's look at what we're having here for feats. So first up, we have Thrilling Comeback. So Thrilling Comeback is a feat that automatically activates when you enter Revenge. It would heal you for 20, and that was it. So now what we're doing with Thrilling Comeback is that now it cleanses Fire and Bleed, like, you know, the other things that we have there. And also heals for 40, up from 20. So basically, like, it wasn't a super good feat. The conditions to activate it mean that you have to get Revenge.
Yeah.
You have to activate Revenge. And then there's, like, weird interactions with Bleed and Fire and healing. I'm not going to go into massive details about this, but essentially, the idea here is that there's a reason why we always cleanse, or almost always cleanse when we heal. And so this did not cleanse, so you would not get cleansed under your Revenge shield. It was kind of hard to read. So we decided, you know what? Okay, let's make the feat more usable. Let's buff it. Cleanses, now heals for double. Should be a lot better. If you enter Revenge, you're happy. You're happier with this. So
Yes.
right?
Happy.
Then we have Berserker. So Berserker is Berserkers, funnily enough, 4th feat. So it gives you like a big boost to like attack damage, like spreading speed, a bunch of different things. But it lasted 15 seconds. And so because it felt not super good to use, right? You get a buff. It's hard to time properly. People are gonna run away. Like you don't really get to benefit from it quite a bit. So we've doubled the duration. It's now 30 seconds. It's still not like you're not gonna become invincible for a minute or 2 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. But at 30 seconds, it really lowers the timing requirements of I need to time this just right to go nuts for 15 seconds. Now it's 30 seconds. It's a lot better. Hopefully it'll be used a bit more. Yes, there's still fire flasks, but at least this is still strong and it's still good. So it's going to be a lot more interesting here.
Nice.
Fiat Lux. So way back when, Fiat Lux dealt damage. it was deemed too strong because it was very, very useful to clear out a ton of minions in the minion lane when we still had like minion kill animations, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was a bit too strong, especially in Breach as well. You could do like a lot of crazy things. So we had nerfed Fiat Lux to deal no damage. It's still like it drains all your stamina and stuns or whatever,
Yeah.
but it didn't really do damage. And so we wanted to bring back a bit of that minion clearing ability, so that heroes like Peacekeeper, for example, right, can run Fiat Lux and just run around and like throw a little grenade into minions, kill a bunch of them, and be able to participate a little bit better
Yeah.
in those types of situations. So it's not a massive buff, but that 5 damage really just means that you can now use it in minions and get a good result out of it. It's still a little bit of a grenade, right?
Yeah. It should
Minions-
do a little
minions
bit.
are very, very, very feeble. You just look at you blow on them and they blow. They do. It's kind of good. It kind of works out.
Exactly.
Tough as nails. So we just reverted tough as nails.
Okay.
Straight up. We had lowered it to 10% around the time we launched the CCU, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Because we were like kind of lowering a lot of stuff with the CCU, like lowering attack damage, like trying to make fights last a little bit longer, to like try to mess with that a little bit. And then Tough as Nails was a bit too strong, was seen as too strong back then. But as the game evolved and kept going, we kind of figured out that, well, the nerf was not necessarily warranted to go down to 10%. So reverting back to the 15% it was before. At 10%, when you have 120 HP, for example, right, it doesn't even give you enough enough life to survive an extra light. So at 15%, it's one extra light. On some heroes, that it goes a little bit higher.
Yeah.
It's also better than one of the perks that kind of gives you extra life. So at this point, Tough as Nails at 15% makes a lot more sense.
Right.
We're good there.
Nice.
And then finally, we're nerfing Umbral Shelter. So Umbral Shelter, the way it works is that when you pop it, it's Black Pirates Feed 4, right? When you pop it, there's like 3 pulses that grant shields to yourself and to your allies nearby. And it used to grant 100 shield per pulse. So we're nerfing this to 50 per pulse. Might seem like, whatever. But the big thing here, and I consulted with our design team who really worked on this quite a bit. And so a lot of what they did is they looked at the average damage output of tier 4 feats. And a lot of that kind of like where that can go. And then at 100 shield, there was literally 0 counterplay. You couldn't throw a tier 4 feat at somebody that was protected by Umbral Shelter, because you wouldn't like you wouldn't even touch whatever damage, like whatever life they had under the shield.
Yeah.
At 50, there's a lot of feats that will able to kind of like just strip the shield entirely, damage you under the shield. Then yeah, you're gonna get shield back on the second pulse, on the third pulse, but there's a bit more counterplay to it. It's a lot easier to focus fire 50 damage than it is to focus fire 100 damage. Like clearly, like it's half. So it makes a difference here, where we want to have like that aspect of there's counterplay to Umbral Shelter. It's still a super strong tier 4, right? Shields are still very good, but at the end of the day, it's a way to make it that it's less just overwhelming completely. And if you wait for the third, like if you can wait for the third pulse, throw like 2 tier 4 feats, you're probably gonna kill somebody, right? Whereas before you wouldn't, you just would not. So it's like it's feat for feat. We wanted to make it a bit more sense into how you can counterplay it a little bit there.
Awesome.
So that is it for our patch notes.
Wow.
But I hope players are happy with what we're doing. Like I hope Lawbringer Brains are happy.
Yeah.
I see Lawbringer Brains on Reddit, and I feel your pain. I understand. We see players like, every player. I love everybody. It's great, but we're really like we're pushing to get the game in a better state with every single patch. It might not go as fast as you would hope as a player. Understandably, we need to take your time to make the right calls, the right decisions, to really plan around what we're going to be doing, what's coming up next, where things are going, to get us into the best state possible, to deliver the best game we can for players.
Yeah.
And I know that sometimes it's frustrating. Your hero didn't get buffed. The hero you hate didn't get nerfed. I get it. But as we go along, as we look at the data, we gather information from everywhere. We try to make choices that are like the smartest choices for the moment. I know there's players complaining that Soe is a bit underpowered. We're keeping an eye on that. I know there's players that they're saying that Hitokiri is too strong. The data shows it as well. We're looking at Hitokiri as well. We're looking at a bunch of those heroes to see what can we do to ease the pain, to make heroes like that to make things feel a little bit better, make more sense. But we actually do need that time to make the right decisions, right? Because I don't want us to go and take a hero and just because we can always go, hey, we're gonna go nuclear. This hero deals 1 damage now, and like that just feels bad for everybody. So if we're taking our time to come up with nerfs and buffs that make a bit more sense, that are a bit more thought out, and that we're able to just not destroy a hero outright or overbuff one like crazy, then I think it's a better end result for everybody, even if it takes a little bit more time. So please be patient. We have more things coming. Like the game is, we're still doing patches, we're still updating, we're still balancing.
We got plans. We
right?
got plans.
And you've been seeing for a little while now. We've been doing we're back to doing more and more and more significant changes every single TU. We're gonna keep doing this, and we're gonna keep improving the game every single TU, every opportunity we have. So that's really great. I'm really happy. Again, huge thanks to the design team. They're working super hard with the fight team to gather that information. What are we going to do in terms of buffs? What are we going to do in terms of nerfs? And try to adjust this quite a bit. It's a team effort. Everybody works hard on this. So really big kudos to them. We're super happy, and we're going to keep doing this in the future.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, JC. Thanks for being here to walk us through all those patch notes and give us the lowdown, the breakdown on all that. It's very encouraging. I'm excited because, yes, I know there's more to come in future updates. So very excited for the future as we go, and excited for this because all these changes are going to be live for all of you in just 2 days.
2 days.
2 days you can.
2 days you can shove to your heart's content.
Shove to your heart's content in 2 days. It's for honor. We love it. We love it. So, all right. Well, JC, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Warriors, folks, stick around because we have a fun video where we're going to show all the full armor variations, and then we're going to head up to the wrap up as we close out the show. So don't go anywhere.
Get burned. Awesome.
This is how Immaculate. It's just too much. It's too much power. The fire doesn't even touch him. It's amazing. All right. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Ugh. right.
We've made it
We have.
to the wrap up. Nolan, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling like super just pumped. All the Vikingness coming into this season, new testing grounds, new balance changes, all that stuff. So much fun stuff coming up. So
So much fun stuff live in 2 days, September 12th. Let's take a look at what we've got coming. Got the new season, Shield of Svengard. Love the card. Looks so nice. New Battle Pass. We've got a new Legacy Pass, of course, all live in just 2 days. Of course, we've got our hero skin, Goodmunder the Great, 25k steel. Got our seasonal event, a song for Goodmunder that's coming with a free event pass as well. Our new converted map for Dominion Viking Village. Again, all in 2 days. We got some hero fests for Valkyrie, Berserker, and Raider.
Hey, a bunch of Vikings. I like it. I see what we did there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it
right.
all in the same theme.
There you go.
Friend or Foe Phase 2 signups are now open. Keep in mind that the first qualifier is September 28th, so join the Discord, find a buddy, and duke it out. It's going to be fun. Our testing grounds for Warden Feats are live September 19th to the 26th, so be sure to give us all your feedback on this. We've also got a throwback event for Rebellion Rescue and our balance patch that will be live in 2 days again.
Yes.
So good.
Amazing stuff. Got a lot of stuff. But folks, we also have some content of the week coming your way. Time limited execution, Mjolnir's Flight, available for 10k steel. What's going on? Oh, there it is. Never suck.
The strength to Ragdoll so is.
It's a lot going on there. We also have a time limited illustrious outfit, Spirit of the Wolf, also available. That's a purebred good boy if I've ever seen one. Love it. We also have a new weekly arcade quest coming up, Smoke and Mirrors. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be available.
All good.
Anyway, that was quick. There it is. Okay. So that'll be available starting September 12th. So keep an eye out for that. Also, we have an event order coming up, Song for Goodmunder. So be the faction with the most executions performed from September 12th through the 16th. So, yeah, it's good stuff.
Pretty awesome. We also have some community corner videos.
Oh, my favorite.
But this time it'll be handled by our CMs, Jet and Josh. So
I still get to watch it, though, right?
Of course we get to watch it.
Alright.
Jet, Josh, take it away.
Let's go, guys.
What's going on, Warriors? Welcome to the Community Corner segment. You probably recognize us from the photo mode live stream, but we're here now. I'm Josh, joined by Jet. We are CMs on For Honor. Jet, how you doing, man?
I'm doing perfectly fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let's get into these awesome videos that you guys have been posting up on Reddit and stuff like that. First one up is from Specific Bell, running here with the Law Boy, getting sturdy.
Yeah, we got a chase going on here.
And the impale every single time, but that's not just destroyed by the minions.
Gotta love when
Take
minions
her
finish the
away,
job.
boys. Unbelievable. All right, let's go into the next one. This is from Fozalicious. You gotta watch out. You gotta watch out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's tough.
But instantly,
That's karma right there.
yo,
Yeah.
don't you love just getting impaled by something that you didn't even know was coming?
Yeah, sometimes it's the teammate too. It's tough.
It be your own ones, man. All right, next one that we have up. This is a awesome, beautiful Kensei artwork from Galvin TKY. The detail on this is absolutely phenomenal. So hats off to you on the amount of detail and probably the amount of hours that were put into it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, even all the details on the shoulder pad and everything, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonderful piece.
Yep. And to round it off, we're actually gonna go ahead and show you some photo mode stuff from Toothmean. Another Law Boy.
This is a beautiful law boy right here. I mean, the fashion's on point, and now he's relaxing too with a mug of mead and everything.
Got a mug of mead, got himself his chair. Beautiful day, no one's dying next to him.
Looks like a vacation I'd want to be on for sure.
Oh yeah. We're about to book our tickets to Heath. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and wrap it up for this Community Corner segment. If you want to be featured, go ahead and post something on the Reddit, Twitter, whether it's artwork, a clip. We're always looking at stuff that you guys are posting and sending it. Like, we send each other multiple things we'll see on Reddit
All the time.
Honestly all the time. So definitely keep it up because a lot of them are very funny. But that's gonna do it for us. We're gonna go ahead and kick it back over to the studio. See you. Bye.
And we're back. We're back. Jet,
Oh, man.
Josh, thank you so much for
Yes.
taking care of the community corner this week.
Yeah. That was a
super
ton of fun.
awesome.
The Lawbringer one was my
Yeah,
favorite.
it was
So,
awesome.
I mean, both honestly, even the photo mode was so good.
There were so
good.
many good ones, honestly. But yeah, that's about it for us this week, folks. New season live September 12th. Super exciting. So be sure to be there. Go have fun. It's going to be awesome. And I believe we're rating someone.
Ooh, who?
I believe we're rating Bean.
Ooh.
So
Very cool.
go show him some love.
All right, go over there and
yeah,
type "good munder" as soon as you get there. All right,
That's
it'll
it.
be good, as loud as you can, in all caps. There you go.
All right. Have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.
See you next time.